Welcome back, YouTube. I'm Nerdy Birdie, and I'm here today to offer you another guide for Once Human. Please remember to like and subscribe if you find the content useful, and feel free to ask questions or add anything I missed in the comments section below. Today our focus is on the way of the winter scenario, and more specifically on the tower system, which is introduced to all players in the second phase. Overall, the tower is one of the most impressive features I've experienced so far in this game. It really offers player base an opportunity to achieve all crafting, harvesting, and fighting goals in a localized area. That's right, the days of limited real estate in the oil or polluted zones is now over. The tower, if upgraded correctly, makes any space around it a production powerhouse. And over the next few minutes, we will be discussing the best and most efficient way to upgrade your tower to first maximize the returns it offers, and second, to upgrade it for defensive purposes for when you are doing your purifications. In addition, I have bookmarked each stage of the process so you can find all the tech upgrades easier and allows you to go back and check just to see which upgrades you need to upgrade next. At the beginning of the second phase, you and your friends should already have a solid idea of where you will build your tower village. Hot or cold zones really at this point don't make much of a difference because you can always use towers to move around the map, and of course when you're on your given village area where you've built your bases around the tower, temperature isn't going to affect you anyways. So if it's in the cold, you can wear hot. If it's in the hot, you can wear cold, and it just won't burn you up or affect you in those ways. So this position should be a very large and flat area that can contain the entire number of the bases that you and your friends playing with will have coming with you. You will need to do this quickly because, as always, real estate in this game gets claimed very quickly, and you don't want to be stuck in a situation where you and your friends cannot fit all of your bases in the tower's effective area. So with that warning out of the way, I have created a tech list below which is organized to first establish your group's production needs and then to provide the needed buffs to defend your tower and bases from the Purify, which will be happening 4 or 5 days into the tower building process itself. So these selections were picked by the level of ease, as well as considering many options such as the required crafting of items which might not easily be obtainable at the opening stages of phase 2. So you might believe something on this list is out of order, or you might think something else is more important, but please keep in mind it's not always easy to make 10 bags of fertilizer of each type of fertilizer in the amount of time it takes to get the next upgrade going. So for me, these are always going to be kind of phase 3. I have a lot of time. My farm is established. My bases are established. We are getting all the buffs from this tower. Now I'll start worrying about increasing my crop rates for my animal raising, these things along those lines. Okay, so once you've placed all of your bases around the tower in an orderly fashion, it's time to get your group started to unlock all the different technological phases that you will have in your future of the tower. Please keep in mind that you have to unlock at least 3 technologies from each phase in order to unlock the capabilities of the next. So starting with the stage 1 technologies, I would say the most important technology to open up first would be temperature resistant treatment. With this tech, you come out of the gates firing on all cylinders. You just can't beat a 30% increase to all gear and weapons crafted at your workbenches, and even before the possible mimetic buffs that also can be added to these benches, it'll ensure that your longevity into the second phase of supply gathering from killing mobs and other creatures out there are much easier to accomplish. Next, I would go with heat spread. This is also a great option here because you are now pumping out 10 more watts per biogenerator. These are needed volts to add more guns or shine up the old gardens around your house. Habitable temperature, finally, is more or less just an option to help you unlock the stage 2 of tech options. However, it doesn't hurt to run faster or jump higher, so it's definitely better than other options in this category, considering it can be crafted with very little effort, and the supply load for the Q is very simple and easy to obtain. Now, unlocking stage 2 technology is where you start to feel the real potential of this tower, and it will provide for you quite a few important points that will help you and your friends start the real production process of the tower village. The first thing I would unlock here is Chaosium Chemistry. You're going to love this when you wake up the next day and your tower is running, and inside your depot is 1K plus acid just sitting there. This goes a long way because you are going to need this acid for crafting tungsten and other goodies to further upgrade the tower at a later time. After this, I would go with Efficient Refinement. Efficient Refinement is selected next because you will be using the passive acid from the tower depot to combine with hot and cold rocks to make more chaosium to make your tower work longer. This tech just makes that production cycle so much easier. Finally, Artificial Sun is a huge technology here because you are now not only going to be opening up your area for more production because 10 more watts of energy in your power cells is going to be present, but it's also going to give you access to the stage 3 technologies. Technologies in Stage 3 are by far the hugest boost to this point for area potential. This is where your friends start high-fiving each other because now you are terraforming the region to your needs. Full combustion is probably the first thing that you should research out of the gates. This reduces your tower's chaosium usage, and this makes your grinding life so much easier, not having to worry about getting so much chaosium to control the temperature to make sure that all the benefits of the tower area are being provided. After this, I would definitely go with something like Oil Exploration. Oil Exploration, which literally creates an oil field around the tower and takes care of any fuel needs, is by far a huge production boost. And hey, you don't have to find the oil field anymore. If you build it, the oil field will come. Next, I would probably jump back down to Stage 1 tech list, which is Community Medical Care. Yeah, this is a Stage 1 tech, but it only takes 5 minutes, and by researching this, it's going to unlock the final stage of tech options, and it's so easy to craft. Just keeping in mind there are other 5-minute Stage 1 technologies you could choose, but they all require you to have to actually craft something like fertilizer or pet foods. This is just straight up resources that you get from killing stuff and gathering things around your base. Now, obviously the first thing I'm going to say is the 10th and 11th research that you can choose here are interchangeable. Personally, I would go with Tower Reinforcement because it never hurts to have 100% more structural stability, and but it could be interchanged with Stardust Control, because if you're wanting to get that polluted air around your base so you can start creating acid, definitely Stardust Control should go first. But once again, these two resources are interchangeable. You can go with either one, but I definitely would have these two right off the bat because keep in mind, Stage 4 research is 12 hours. So it's going to take a long time to get these done, but once they are finished, your production is just by far like doubled, tripled, because everybody is getting everything that they want around you. Now, at this point, there are other productive techs that you could be researching, but I'd recommend the following 5 that you start with before you do anything else. Your tower at this point is going to be getting close to 100% Purify, and you'll need some kind of defensive and offensive buffs to help you kill the enemies that are going to be attacking your tower. So, of these 5, I would start off with something like Silent Land. This spawns 3 mini boss deviants to fight with you, and they do a lot of damage, and they don't seem to die. Next would be Anima. This boosts up your turret stability and more damage, so once again helping you kill these NPCs, which are a little bit more difficult than your average level 30, level 40 deviants that are spawning out there. Next would be Interlaced Fire. This increases your weapon damage, but make sure, if you choose this, that you are maintaining the temperature around your tower to be at least 30 degrees, because this is a requirement for the weapon damage boost to take place and happen. After this, the next two are really, I would say, something you don't have to worry too much about right out of the bat, because I would say they become more important in stage or phase 3, because these are both dealing with fighting colossals and fighting bigger enemies, which I don't think have too much of an impact on your first purifying option. But Colossal Hunt and Gulped Killer, very solid choices for you to once again pump out and defend your bases and your tower, which you're going to need to. So in closing, I really want to emphasize how important it is to get your tower up and running as soon as possible. Also try to do this with friends. It will speed up the collection of supplies, and I doubt a solo player will be able to defend the tower and their base from the damage that the mobs in the Purify will be dishing out. I hope everybody enjoyed all the information that I presented here to you, and I hope that you guys come back and see some more of my instructional videos. Keep on fighting, Mayflies.